Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
The Boys, This Is Gonna Hurt is a board game based on the Boys comic series. Now, there's a popular Amazon TV show based off the Boys, but this one, the artwork and the look of it is all going to be based on the comic series, and it's going to shine through that. So what the players are going to do is they're going to compete together to put the superhero team and have that superhero team go after Homelander and kill him. Homelander will get stronger as the game goes on, so it behooves you to try to get your team together as quickly as possible and to be as strong as possible and get him early, because the longer the game goes on, the stronger he's going to get. Theoretically, the stronger you're going to get also. So what's this game about? This game is all about trying to build that superhero team. You're going to start out with betas first because they're easier to obtain. And as you get more and more betas, you're going to get more and more dice. You're able to add alphas to your group. These are stronger superheroes that will help you in your fight against Homelander. You definitely can go into the Homelander fight with just the betas, but those black dice they give you are not nearly as possible, potentially, as the red dice that the alphas give you. The alphas also have better powers. They are strictly better cards. So for the first half of the game, or first part of the game, you'll be getting a team of betas together. And at some point, almost like the menu, you want to shift your focus and start adding an alpha here and alpha there to make your team stronger. In addition to each superhero having a power, they have synergy. So if you can potentially get people together of the same gang or superhero team, they will give you bonuses as you're going through. You also have resource cards you'll be getting that will be able to break up the monotony of the game, giving you powers or money. Now, these are not created equal. Some of these will give you like 1 compound V, and some will give you 5. If you happen to draw the one that gives you 5, well, guess what? You're better off than me because I only drew the card that gives you 1. I don't understand why it wasn't like 1 coin and some money, and this one gives you 5 compound V. It's very weird that some cards are strictly just better. The cards do repeat quite a bit in the resource stack, so the chance of you getting one is pretty good. But there was a turn when I played against my wife. We played a 2-player game one time. She had 3 cards that gave her 5 compound for a total of 15. I had 3 cards that gave me 1 for 3. She clearly had better cards than me. And that's an example of something in the Boys that you're just going to have to deal with. It is not a fair experience. Some cards and some powers are just better, and that's going to happen. I didn't go through all the superheroes to make sure that the costs and the powers are balanced, but I would hope that they would be. But after seeing the resource stack, I probably would guess that they're not. I think it's okay with this type of game, because really what you're doing is you're running around, getting absurd amounts of money, blackmailing people, and rolling dice to get better superheroes. Oddly enough, thematically, you have to fight the superhero and defeat them. After you beat them up, then they're willing to join your crew. That's just kind of how the game works. The turns are fairly quick. You're going to get 3 action points to use. Most of that will be either moving or obtaining more cards, either from one of the draw decks or trying to recruit somebody to your side. So those are kind of 3 main actions you will do a lot. You go to the black market. You can purchase additional compound V or blackmail tokens that are used to recruit other characters. But everything is in this pursuit of recruiting. You are doing the same thing over and over and over again. There's also a lot of take that in the game. There are a lot of cards that hurt your opponents, or you'll want to go and sabotage them, which is really have a dice throw off in order to take some of their goods from them, either money or compound V. There's a little bit of a chart that you can use. Now, this is a step above munching it. This is a step of, I'm going to go around trying to build a superhero team to defeat the main bad guy while you're doing the same thing. I need to hurt you whenever it's possible because that also helps me. At the same time, I need to help myself whenever possible, which also helps me. So those things are going on. The game is very straightforward. The artwork, the IP kind of keep this game alive. It is not the most solid experience in the world. Yet, we had fun with it. It's a different experience from us from the Euros that we normally play. There's a lot of combative and fighting, etc. going on. And then you have to spend all this money to get to the bad guy in order to fight him, and you're relying on dice rolling to do so. There's always dice rolling, dice rolling, dice rolling. And you're either going to love that or you're going to hate that with this experience. If you're a huge fan of the Boys, I think this will be more appealing to you otherwise. But I have to admit, while it's not the most solidly designed game, it's not the most interesting game to play, we did have a blast playing it. And I think that accounts for something. For us, based on the IP and the game itself, we will be keeping it. But it's a lukewarm keep. Here's the the boys, this is going to hurt. You can see it is a giant box. Kind of reminds me of the old fantasy flight boxes we used to have. Here's going to be a rule book, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. And these will be the player boards. I think there's 6 of these in here. Each one's exactly the same, but they do have different artwork on them, which is nice. You'll track bonuses, etc. here. And you can put your missions card, and there's a player aid here. Actually, very, very nice. You know, they're thin, they're double-sided, etc. But they work pretty good. Now, you're going to get a board, which we'll look at in a second, but when you open this up, you're going to have a place for everything. Actually, it's bigger than it needs to be, so I have plenty of room for these. Maybe there's an expansion or something coming down the pike, which can be a little bit, you know, you think that's great, but look how easily this stuff falls over. The beta cards, you know, this is not... You're going to see the dice you're going to get, what the cost is. Everything is very, very good. The card quality is actually pretty nice. You're going to have your alphas you're going to have on this side, and you're going to have your hero cards, the different heroes from the show. You got Lamplighter, Soldier Boy, Mother's Milk, Wee Huey, Terror, Queen Maeve, the female, Frenchie, Starlight, and Billy Butcher. Those are the characters that you can be. All of the cards are really good. The resource cards kind of look like they have money on the back. They all feel very good with a nice little finish on them. They do repeat sometimes, you can see like that. Some of the cards will repeat sometimes. And these cards are not even whatsoever. Some cards are just better than other. The tokens are really thick, the compound V that you're going to get in the game. The dice are all custom, and they are 6-sided dice, and your money will be cardboard, kind of little cardboard money. The components are actually pretty good. You'll be utilizing standees in this one. There is extra pack you can get with miniatures, but the base set you probably buy in a store will be the standees. Then you're going to have your board that will come out. Now, mainly the board is just going to be a place for the characters to kind of move around. It's going to be a larger board, and you're going to have different characters on there. You're going to have a track here for Homelander. You're going to have the middle where you can go. You can move inside these spaces. You see the black markers and before there's on a board. And there's places around here where you can put different cards. Like here will be your mission cards, your alpha and your beta cards. Those are okay. But you can see how it has different pictures of different characters. This is where you'll go to recruit them as you're moving around the board. Then Homelander's health track over here will be. So, very easy board. It is big, but it does use its purpose pretty well. Here's a rule book. You can see a little picture here. It's got Homelander with patch and teeth missing and stuff. It's kind of played for comical. Picture of all of the components you can see here. This is really, really great. I should note that the numbers in here are not correct. So 125 resource cards, you get about 149. I think there's some Kickstarter stuff that was thrown in. So I didn't get these. There weren't enough standee bases for everything, but it's fine. You're going to get how to play here with setup. You can see a little bit of a picture there. It's okay as you walk through step by step. You should be fine. Explanation of the hero cards, Homelander's cards. I did not like the organization of this book. It's okay. I think all of the information is here. It's kind of hard to find. So now we're going through what you're going to do on a turn with actions, movements, the resources, breakdown like sabotage, how you do character recruitment, etc. as you go through. It breaks everything down. Then anatomy of a character card is thrown in here. It's very, very bizarre how it's organized. And then it breaks down like why you have these currencies that you're going to have, the black market, you know. So here it's telling you how to recruit. Then all of a sudden or define a character card. Then we'll go to upgrade. And then all of a sudden, we'll just talk about currencies for some reason. This feels like it should have been at the beginning of the book. Then back to the free actions you can do at the black market, but it never tells you it's a free action except for it just tells you, 3 pages before right here, and it just goes in the description. It'd been nice to have a header there. Description of money. It's just weird. How to win and killing Homelander. Then there'll be a little bit in here for solo mode. Once again, it probably would have been 1 page, but they stuck it on 3/4 of one and half of another. I don't know, it's really weird. Diabolical mode if you want it to be a little bit harder. An end game with the bloody doors off, and then a glossary of things. If you want a glossary of other cards, I feel like that maybe should have been a different book where you could have passed that around, etc. The rule book is fine. Everything you need is going to be in here. It just feels like it could have been better organized. I didn't really like the organization of it. I'm sure when they were writing it, it made a lot of sense. But when you try to reference it, it's very hard to have a turn mixed in with terminology, where you'll be learning about, okay, so say, where do I find out about currencies? Oh, it's right here. It's just kind of a weird. I feel like all these definitions should have been in the front. Otherwise, it's fine, just disorganized. Let's start off by talking about a few concepts. You're going to be one of these heroes. You can choose which one you want to be. So if you're going to be Billy Butcher, his card is going to be an alpha deck or the beta deck. It happens to be an alpha card. So you will have this as the game starts, but he's not in play yet until you recruit him, which is super confusing because you are him. So you'll be him with this power and ability. The power you can use whenever it's applicable. Special ability is a one-time use, but you can always recruit him, and you're the only one that can recruit him. Doesn't dictate your hand size, and nobody can steal or sabotage him from you. As you're going through the game, you'll be gaining beta and alpha characters. The beta characters to start out with, they are a little bit weaker. They will normally give you a black die. Now, the black die is going to be the weaker of the 2 die, and then you'll have a red die that will give you like 4 hits, etc. on it. Once you have enough betas, you can really turn this on whenever you want. You can start recruiting the alpha players. The alpha players will give you the red die, which is a little bit harder. That includes your hero card. Although some of the hero cards will be betas. Now, the way that you're going to purchase these guys or get them to join you is the cost would be 1V, and you have to have a fight with him and get 3 hit points. So you can see here that getting him costs us 20 million, 2V, a blackmail, and 18 hit points. You can clearly see that getting the alpha characters is going to be a little bit harder than getting a beta. So what you do is just spend most of the game getting up to your 7 heroes, usually be beta characters, and then you turn the switch on and start upgrading them to the alpha characters as the game continues on, because they will be stronger. Once you get your heroes set together, you can go and roll the dice and defeat Homelander. It costs $30 million to do so, and you have to get enough hit points on a turn in order to beat him. If you do so, and you're the first one to do so, then you are the winner of the game. Understanding this concept here is very important to the game, because this is mostly what you're going to be doing. The first thing that's going to happen each round is you're going to have a number of these Homeland attack cards. Each round, you're going to flip one over and do what it says. All players discard a resource card from their hands. If at any point you're unable to do one of these and unable to block it, then you'll just not be able to draw a card and get your free $10 million. So these might be Homelanders been spotted flying around the black market. Best to avoid the area for a while. All black markets are discarded or disabled. All recruited U.S. government characters are penalized -1. These are things that'll happen. If you get one of these doomsdays that come out, you'll put a marker on the board. It'll cost more to recruit there, and his health will go up from 30 to 32 to 34, etc. That's just the hit points it would take. So first thing you do each round is a Homeland attack card. You're going to have one of these guys out on the board, and you're going to have 3 action points you can use each round. The first thing you do for an action point is move 2 spaces. Any 2 spaces, as long as they're on the board here. Another action you can do is you can draw an alpha card, a beta card, or a resource card. Now, these aren't used at this point. They just go in your hand, and you can play them at a different point in the game. The beta cards are going to be the weaker ones. The alpha cards are going to be the stronger superheroes. And the resource cards will do things like give you free money or allow you to attack other people or allow you to do any number of things in the game, such as add +2 to your hit rolls or from a black market location, you purchase up to 3 pieces of blackmail for $10 million. So basically, the resource cards will allow you to break the rules of the game, while the alpha and the beta cards are what you're trying to get to add to your superhero team in order to fight Homelander. If you happen to be in the same location with another person, you can roll 3 black dice to see if you're able to successfully sabotage. What you would do is you roll, and if you have 4 hits, then you would be successful. Then your opponent will roll the dice. If they roll 5 hits or more, they were able to block it. Then after that, you will go to this chart that you have in here. And what it'll allow you to do is either recruit betas or from their hand or alphas, or if you fail, you can grab compound V or steal money from people. So that's what your third possible action is, to use the sabotage to try to steal from your opponents. The fourth possible thing is try to get a beta or a alpha player. I'll show you in this beta. You'd pay the cost up here, 15 million and a compound V. If you fail, you still have to spend that. You're going to lose it either way. Then you're going to take all the dice from the people in your area, however many you have, and you're going to roll them plus any modifiers you might have from resource cards or from your player powers, and you're trying to get the amount of hit points. If I get 6 or higher hit points, then I will have successfully beat this person up, and now he's recruited into my team. I can have at most 7 of these people. Once I get enough dice and enough beta people, then of course I'll probably want to start recruiting some of the alpha ones that are just a little bit stronger. Now there are teams, if you see they're on certain teams, so if you have the team member and the leader, you're going to get bonuses. There are all kinds of ways you can get bonuses to your dice rolls, either from resource cards, your individual powers from your superheroes, or by getting people on the same team. It's better to recruit beta or alpha people on the same team because you're going to get the synergy of the extra dice. Now, there are some free actions you can have. You can play a resource card for a free action and do whatever it says. You can also go to the black market. This is where you can purchase some of your blackmail tokens that you can see here, or you can gain Compound V, which are just currencies used in recruiting the other people. Now, at any point that you feel like you're powerful enough or you want to give it a try, you can simply pay $30 million to go here, and you can fight Homelander. When the game starts out, you're trying to get 30 hit points against him, but it will go up for every Doomsday card that comes up until he's up to 42. If you're the first person to pay $30 million to go here, you're able to roll all of your dice for combined total hit points, and you're able to kill Homelander. You are the winner of the game. So, that's a lot of information, but the majority of the game is going to be this. You're going to draw a Homelander card at the beginning of each turn, and something negative will happen. Then you will spend your 3 actions to move around the board, recruiting beta or alpha characters by fighting them. You have to pay the cost, and you have to roll dice in excess of their hit points to add them to your team. Once you have enough hit points, or you feel like you have enough dice, you can go to the center to pay him $30 million and roll against Homelander in order to defeat him. So really it's about joining and building up a superhero team in order to take out the bad guy. Kind of like the Avengers or the Justice League. You can't do it on your own. You're going to need a team of people. Now, which team are you going to choose? And that's the main question you're going to have in The Boys. This is going to hurt. Who should buy this game? This is strictly for fans of The Boys. If you like the comic series or even the television show, I think this game is going to be more appealing to you. You understand the characters and what's going on. Now, is it the strongest superhero game on the market? No, not by a long shot. If you're not a fan of The Boys, I think there are other superhero games that you'll buy, but this one is interesting. It's almost like you're building your own team of Avengers. Who are you going to add and why? What synergy of powers are you going to have together, and how are they going to work? The rules aren't as crisp as I would like them to be, for sure, but there is a fun experience in this game. I just think a lot of that fun is tied to the intellectual property that it's based off of versus the game mechanisms. Now, if you just want to romp, you want to throw some dice down, you want to attack your other friends, and you want to try to beat up Homelander, then this is the game for you by far. For those not familiar with the source material, I would probably say play before you purchase. For us, it's a keeper. We had fun with it, but let's see how long it stays in the collection.